Hello, my name is Dr. Yisroel Susskind. For the past 50 years, I've been a clinical psychologist, a psychotherapist, and a marital therapist. I'd like to share some of my experience with you. In particular, today I would like to talk about anger. Anger is often a time of great stress, but I would like to talk about anger as an opportunity to create more intense and stronger love. I'd like to look at that in three areas: how you relate to God, how you relate to your spouse, and how you relate to yourself. Let me start with a story. A clinical psychologist is in a supermarket and he sees a young mother with her cart with her 3-year-old daughter going down the cookie aisle. The girl says, "Mommy, I want a cookie." The mother says, "No." The girl starts to whine, "I want a cookie, I want a cookie." And the mother says, "Monica, relax. We only have 2 more aisles that we need to go through." They continue. The next aisle is the candy aisle. The girl says, "Mommy, Mommy, I want candy." The mother says, "No." The girl starts to cry loudly. The mother says, "Monica, stay relaxed. Pretty soon we'll be at the checkout and we'll be done here." They get down to the checkout counter and the little girl sees the stacks of gum in racks by the counter. She says, "Mommy, Mommy, I want gum." And the mother says, "No." And the girl starts to have a tantrum. And the mother says, "Monica, stay relaxed. We'll be out of here in a couple of minutes. We'll go home and you can take a nap." The psychologist runs over. He says, "Madam, I'm incredibly impressed. You didn't show the slightest bit of anger when your daughter was being so provocative. And now you get a chance to take little Monica home." The woman says, "My daughter's name is Tammy. I'm Monica." The mother had a choice. We all have a choice. She chose not to get angry. How do we do that? Let's take a look at people's relationship to God. Rabbi Ezriel Tauber tells a story about a man who survived the Holocaust. On the day that the Allied armies liberated his camp, he looked up to the heavens and he said, "God, you've taken almost everything away from me. My wife, my children, my wealth, my health. But there is one thing I will not let you take away from me, and that's my faith in you." There are rabbis who are considered on a very high spiritual level, so that when a person has a request of God, they can bring that request. It's called a kvittel. They can bring that request to the rabbi for the rabbi to act as an intercessor, as an intermediary to, in a sense, endorse the request and pass it on to God. One Rebbe, Rabbi Yoel Teitelbaum of Satmar, said, "Someone who went through the Holocaust and kept his faith intact is at a spiritual level that he can act as an intercessor. He can accept acquittal from someone else. What does that mean? When we go through a difficult time and we come out intact, it strengthens us. The level of love for God that the man in the story had after he'd gone through the Holocaust clearly was higher than the comfortable level of love that he had before going into the camps. Let me draw a physical metaphor. When a person breaks a bone, and the bone is reset and heals, the material used to rejoin the bone, the joint that is healed, is stronger than the original bone. The body's reaction to that stress is to create a stronger bond. There's a story of one of the most famous kung fu masters from China. His name was Pan King Fu, and he was born in the 1930s. He was known as the man with the strongest fist in all of China. How did his fist get that strong? He would punch hard material like iron. The impact would break cells, skin cells, bone cells, but they would grow back stronger. And he would do that over and over again. And so he had incredibly strong, incredibly powerful fists. That same process is true in our relationships. Let me go from God to marriage, our relationship with a spouse. Let's say there's a good man who is married to a good woman, but all people, even very good people, have places where they make mistakes and places where they're overly sensitive. Let's say the wife has done something that the man believes is wrong, it's unfair. Let's magnify it a bit. She's done something that reminds him of ways in which he was neglected or abused as a child. This is a touchy spot for him, and he feels really angry, and he's totally convinced his wife is wrong. His love has just banged up against a hard rock, and he has a choice. As he feels himself getting angry, he can say, I want my love to be greater than my anger. I want to love my wife even if I think she's wrong, even if she doesn't see that she hurt me. I will not let go of my love for my wife. Now, I may disagree with her. I may not agree to do what she wants. But my feelings to her will not be compromised. And when you go through a process like that, when a man goes through a process of his love banging against a hard rock and coming out intact, that love is incredibly stronger. Let me now relate it to you, yourself. Not everybody is concerned about their relationship with God. Not everybody is concerned about a relationship with a spouse. But we all are concerned with our relationship with ourselves. Usually when a person gets angry, they're angry at themselves. They're angry that they're helpless to control a situation. They blame themselves for not controlling a situation. They tell themselves, my life is a mess, my life is worthless, I'm a loser because this and this and this didn't happen. they have a choice. They can say, I choose to love myself in spite of what happened. I am not going to be down on myself. And when a person is confronted time and again with something that challenges his sense of self-worth, and he says, I will love me in spite of what happens, they grow in their capacity to love themselves. The Lubavitcher Rebbe has said that every time a person experiences a decline in their life, it is a precursor and an opportunity for an elevation that will take them even higher. When you use the decline, the spiritual decline of anger, to strengthen your love, you are elevated. Please go out, elevate your life and the lives of the people around you.